If you in there, nigga, I'm ghost.
So this is what I'm probably gonna do. I'm probably gonna do these until episode 15, and then I'll just like have like monthly videos, cause it's like I'll be like, oh, this match happened, and then this person won. Like, who cares? But instead, like talking about the biggest things that happen. So I'll probably not even monthly. Probably just do it after every WWE pay-per-view. I'm still calling them pay-per-views. It is what it is. But this one's be going. This one will. Oh, and also, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Next week, I'm probably gonna have to go from Raw to WrestleMania night 1, or I have to do that on stream and then off stream record talking about part 2. And I'm also gonna be, doing reactions to each night. But without further ado, let's jump into this. Now, Cody opens up the show. We get a pay-per-view size crowd. It was packed in there. It was looking crazy. Well, oh yeah, this was the Chicago one, right? Yeah, it was lit in there. But Cody's talking about, pointing to the sign, going to WrestleMania. This man gets the whole crowd to point to the sign. And when The Rock pulled up, you want to call himself the final boss, but that was actually a final boss entrance. I'm trying to think. I gotta watch the clips again. We're gonna talk about Jade Cargill in a second. But how this shot was set up was literally like you're playing a game and you think you're about to beat it, and then a final boss pulls up like, it was me all along, and I'm on a whole different level right now.
Defeating the final boss, defeating the tribal.
That's the energy that it gave me. And then also imagine Punk cuts a promo on The Rock. There's just a little side note. But we have all this thing, Rock and Cody. I'll put Roman who? Historical reign, question mark? But when he pulls up, they're just staring at each other. It's like obviously a way lower tier, but they was getting some Michael Jackson energy. Before they even said anything.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Michael just stand there. Crowd going crazy, people passing out. Now, I haven't heard of anyone passing out that night in Chicago, but everyone was going crazy. CM Punk chants. Rock whispers sweet nothings to Cody Rhodes, then left. We get Ricochet versus JD. Most of the match was in commercial. Dom ejected. Ricochet hits a shooting star press on JD while he's standing up. I don't know, like, this man got his jump and he got all his, like, athletic abilities just maxed out, bro. He gets the pin, and Ricochet wins. Bars. We get the CM Punk segment. This nigga, speaking of Ricochet, this nigga CM Punk pulls up and daps up Samantha. Like, hey, what's good, shawty? I think the official WWE account actually, like, made a clip of it. Where am I at? Oh. And he stands on announce table. Gets in the ring, starts talking about Roman, Seth, Rock, and then Drew. And damn near right on cue. And this dude said, oh, talking about The Rock, like, he referenced that promo that he made. And I can actually, like, I listen to that promo often. Let me see. Unlike a lot of people, I'm glad you're back, Rock. I don't care how many movies you film. No. I don't care how many movies you film. I know how hard that schedule probably is. No. I don't care how many days you work here. You could work here 16 days a year, 365 days a year. You could be like Santa Claus. You can get his schedule. You get 1 day a year. I'll still kick your ass. I don't care how many I don't care how many movies you film. I know how hard that schedule probably is, but every time you come back, every time you try to grace us with your presence, I'm gonna kick your ass because I'm the best in the world. It's something, graduate from kiddie table, but you just bit off more than you can chew. You're playing Little League with your little insults and your rhymes and your millions and millions and your finalies, and I'm in the big lead and I'm swinging for the fence. I feel like there's some other, yeah, it got jumbled around. Sorry, my bad. But he made a call back to that, and then he was like, he found out, blah blah blah. Bruh, I know that y'all said, hey, you're kind of like, oh, you didn't like him, but then y'all were cool, you know, backstage, but who won the match though? You can't say that in a promo like you actually won the match. And then did you rematch him and still lost? Yeah, that's tough. But when he starts mentioning Drew, like a couple sentences in, Drew pulls up. Punk says,
Turn off this stupid song! Turn the stupid song off. Nobody wants to listen to that.
Tells him,
I ain't medically clear, but I'm not looking to have a wrestling match. Why don't you get your bitch ass in here?
and then they have their little back and forth. Seth Rollins pulls up. This dude, CM Punk's reaction. I knew they were gonna make a clip of this, but this man did not want to see Seth Rollins, bruh. Also, I have to preference this because people want to get in your comments about anything and don't even know what they're talking about. Some of the outfits I rock with, but this outfit in this particular night, Seth, was trash. Don't ever put that garbage on ever again. That shit is weak. But it sounds like we're getting Punk on the commentary despite referee chants. They said, should I do this? Should I do that? Loud referee chants. No, put him on commentary. Even though you made it clear as day that you can count with your other arm. He said, I don't think I could be fair, blah 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 in this. Well, if you don't like Drew and you don't like Seth, then it would be fair. You dislike them equally. We get Ivy Nile versus Candice LeRae. No entrances, roll up, waste of 1 minute. That's how long the match was. We get Awesome Truth, DIY, and New Day backstage.
That don't make no damn sense, man.
Why you guys call yourselves a new day? Ain't nothing new about y'all.
They're just joking.
But if you pay attention to this segment, just look in the background.
That don't make no damn sense, man.
Why you guys call yourselves a new day? Ain't nothing new about y'all.
They're just joking.
Who do we got right there? We got Drew McIntyre talking to Paul Heyman. Remember when The Rock said he could make the championship go away like this? I'm predicting bloodline interference. What do y'all open up? Y'all open up, I don't know where y'all are placed on the card for WrestleMania, the World Heavyweight Championship match. But if it's on night 2, okay, if it's at the end of night, no, the main event is the tag team. If it's on night 1, then we can have that be fuel for Seth Rollins in the tag team match. And if it's on night 2, The Rock and Roman are going to have to win. If it's on night 2, then it's Bloodline Rules, and that we can just have it be Bloodline Rules for the whole entire show. Starts interfering with women in matches. We get New Day versus DIY. Judgment Day pull up DQ. Andrade. He was supposed to go against Ivar. I think there was some sort of injury. He wasn't medically cleared, so Giovanni is subbed in. Didn't really matter. At that point, when they say this person was supposed to wrestle, you're probably going to lose. The only time that didn't happen is when Wesley got subbed out, and then they put Dragon Lee in, and Dragon Lee became North American champion. We get Rhea and Becky and Dom, little segment. This, bro, Becky straight decked Dom. I don't know how full on punch will, like, and they did they little footage where they slowed it down. That was a closed fist. Now, I could probably eat those, but I'm gonna be like, why do I have to eat this punch, dude? We get Bronson Reed getting a W over Sami Zayn. Sami, you gonna have to turn heel, my boy. You are going to have to turn heel. No one believing in you. It is what it is. And everybody wanted Chad Gable to win. And he kind of went back on what he was saying, trying to be like, oh, it's not that what I meant, and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, we're not going to get a Chad Gable heel turn. Sami Zayn. Especially, hey, I'm going to need one redhead to turn heel. I was just talking about Becky. My Royal Rumble predictions. I said she's probably going to turn heel because you can't say, we have to see it after WrestleMania. But you can't say, I think you're better than me, but I need to prove that you're not, when she was talking to Rhea, and then you don't turn heel. And Rhea, I don't know, she gotta get this dub. I had all my corrections correct, or all my predictions correct for the Royal Rumble. That's the last one that's in process. We get Jey Uso getting a dub over Shinsuke. Like, what do you expect? Then Rock lays a Smackdown on Cody. They show some clips during Smackdown, and Rock shows more of it on his page. And that's all we have for Monday Night Raw. And now we got NXT. Did I see this one? I don't think I saw this one live. Because this shit is short as hell. Yeah, I forgot. What was I doing? I don't remember. But we got Dijak versus Shawn Spears. Alright, now, I'm well aware that he could be saying, and this is, or he could be saying something else instead of referring to an individual. He's talking about it. I don't remember how it was in the context, but did we have another Booker T nigga slip up?
We just get started. And right now, this thing is hot. And it's about to get a lot hotter. This thing is hot. This thing is hot. This thing is hot.
You can't tell me you didn't hear it. Now, I'm well aware he could be saying something else, but you can't tell me you didn't think that. Tell me he did not just say that. Joe Gacy steals a chair that Sean Spears, like, wouldn't the ref, like, give some look when Sean Spears brings out a chair in the middle of a, like, in someone's entrance and be like, yeah, you can't really keep that chair there? It would be different if, like, he set the chair, like, ringside and he was, like, sitting there during his entrance or something. It's like, oh, the chair is there by, you know, that's his entrance. But obviously he's put it down there like, I'm gonna need this weapon later on. But Joe Gacy steals it. So now we know where Sean Spears' first feud is gonna be with. We get Thea Hale versus Jasmine Nix. Kimura tap out. JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame. A whole bunch of aim. Tries to jump. Kalani Jordan and Fallon Henry pull up for the backup. So it's about to be a little 4v3. Y'all need someone else on your side. Who can you get? I can't even think. There's someone, but I can't think of who I'm missing in this equation. But you're gonna need one more backup. We got Trick versus Mello promo, looking like a whole documentary, bro. Like, bro, you can't tell me when they showed this promo you didn't think you're looking at like a trailer for like a true crime like documentary. Like, they got Punk on there, they got Randy Orton on there talking about Trick and Mello. And then at the end they got Meek Mill. And then they're promoting some more Meek Mill stuff. And we get Stax versus Ilya Dragunov, and the champion. You're going into the pay-per-view. You're gonna have to get this dub, unless you get jumped or something. And then speaking of champion have to get the dub, Wolf Dogs gets the dub over Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy, you're not winning on Raw, especially without Chad Gable. You're not winning on NXT. Wrap it up, bruh. And then you got old girl right there, can take zero types of criticism. This is the wrestling business. If you can't take the criticism, you gotta do something else. If someone says my music sucks, I'm not. That's what it is. Now, if someone's like, go kill yourself. Okay. Now you need to, bro, you're taking it a little too serious. Sending death threats, nah, that's no go. Boo, you suck. That's what it is. Rock started and he got die Rocky die chance. If he never got those chants, what would even have the Rock for real though? Exactly. If he never got booed out of every single building, would we have got the tribal chief? No, we would have just got some generic WWE manufactured babyface, face of the company. But now we're not on WWE anymore. Right now we're on AEW. We got AEW Dynamite. Now, unfortunately, what was I doing? I was doing something, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta watch Dynamite," and then I got there at like 8:05, because I was paying attention as the time was going on, and I was doing something. I was like, "Oh shit, it's 8:06," and yeah, and I was like, hopefully they didn't start anything crazy. Who's in the opening match? Will Ospreay versus Shibata, and he gets the W. Will Ospreay pinfall win. We get Young Bucks versus Private Party. Young Bucks get that dub. I believe this is for the little tournament that they got going on. And then we get Willow versus Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander versus Anna Jay versus Sky Blue. We get Mercedes Moné on commentary. The crowd wasn't as hype as they were for the last 2 times she pulled up on Dynamite. But you know, they're still like, oh yeah, she's here. Also, like, she wasn't really there to do anything other than like be on commentary. And if you're in the venue, you're just like, oh, she's here for her entrance, and that's it. Like, they got a little hype when they had little face-off moments with Willow and her, but still. But this is a fatal 4-way for TBS Championship contendership. I said, Willow heel turn question mark tonight? Because she got Chris Statlander in there. I'm like, oh. And then she got Mercedes on commentary. What's she trying to get into? You know? I don't remember if there was a moment where it was teased, but it was definitely teased on last Dynamite. But Willow pins Anna Jay, so she's going to Dynasty to hopefully, in her case, take the championship away. We get Best Friends. I believe this is another contendership. Best Friends versus Undisputed Kingdom. And it's like, y'all got a tag team titles, but it's Ring of Honor tag team titles. That's what you bring to your kingdom? Not even you bring the titles to your kingdom and then Sting and Darby Allin take it away. No. Y'all brought the Ring of Honor championships to your... It's supposed to be the big heel faction. And we get, in our main event, Swerve Strickland versus Takeshita. Yeah, I know Swerve, that's my guy. Takeshita, that's my guy. It's for another number 1 contendership match. All of these matches besides Will Ospreay has been number 1 contendership matches in the show. And then now this time it's different because when I started watching AEW, we're doing tournaments, and I'm like, I don't really know a lot of these peoples besides I heard a bit about Eddie Kingston. Obviously knew Bryan Danielson. And Jon Moxley. I don't remember if Claudio was in the Continental Triple Crown Champion tournament. And then the people that like I was drawn to that I didn't obviously know off rip was Daniel Garcia a little bit. I forgot I think he was going to get Eddie Kingston. I think that's the match I was like, hold on, let me pay attention to them. Swerve and Jay White. But let's see. And then we get a pop-up Swerve stump reversal. Big pressure, Swerve Strickland gets the win. Great match, good show. Not as good as the last 2 weeks, but still good show. You know, we obviously can't keep that super crazy momentum, but as long as it's steady and not just like, ooh, doom, and then now we have a good show and then we're just right back down. Nah, as long as we keep it good. You might have a bad show here and there, not super terrible, but that show was alright. As long as you don't get below a 4, or if you do get below, or if you get like a 4, don't make that a consistent thing. Just, you know, try to get them. As long as you keep it between a 4.5 and above, and try to keep those 4.5s to a minimum, you should be straight. But speaking of a show that wasn't, you know, really that the greatest, but, you know, it was serviceable, we get Smackdown. Friday Night Smackdown. Opening the show, we get Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Pretty Deadly. Logan knocked out KO, allowing a Pretty Deadly to get the win. Randy Orton comes to the ring. Pause. He's like, what happened? He's pissed. He sees the footage that what happened. Logan Paul's still under the ring. They chase him out basically the whole entire arena. Out the ring, out in the crowd, backstage, parking lot. Then he swerve off. And I ain't talking about Strickland that I was just talking about a little bit ago. We get a segment, EO, Scott. I don't know why you do this. They say, hey, this altercation happened between Bayley and EO. We'll show you what happened next. Instead, and they did the same thing with AJ Styles and LA Knight last week. Instead, have the segment play out and let that's like saying this action movie, when the protagonists, watch how at the end of this movie the main character sacrifices himself to save his family. You're gonna be like, bruh, you just why do I still want to watch? Well, I mean, it would be cool to see action, but it's just like, well, I know their character is gonna survive to the end and then sacrifice himself to save his family. So I know the police is gonna get involved with the AJ Styles and LA Knight thing and the EO Sky and Bayley thing. I know that they're gonna throw hands. But they have EO Sky doing she was talking about damage control and Bayley. And, she said she made Bayley. And I'm pretty... Didn't she say someone said put some respect on my name. I forgot. I'm thinking of Thunder Rosa. My bad. Anyways. Then Bayley pulls up. Soon as the direct, you hear the people in the back say cut and all that. Bayley pulls up. She let her finish talking all her shit. And we're going to talk about waiting in a second. Because then, when Bayley's throwing the hands, they're fighting for a good, 20, 30 seconds.
All right. That's a wrap. Thank you, Leo. Good stuff, guys.
It's not until Bayley spears her through the little backdrop that they're like, okay guys, let's break up this fight. They been throwing hands, throwing lights and shit. Now you want to break it up? We get the debut of Jade Cargill on Friday Night Smackdown. So we haven't heard. It's been months. Didn't hear anything. Got her in the Royal Rumble. And then we didn't hear anything. Then we have these little segments here and there. Now she's finally debuting on SmackDown. I think she should have possibly went to Raw. It's kind of barren wasteland over there, but still, we see the same match lineups. The only same match lineups that we see on SmackDown is the Legado del Fantasma. What the fuck? And LWO. It's like I'm used to saying LWO first. So then my mind's just wanting to say L. But Raw, they spam the same. When someone needs a match and they need to get a win, throw Shinsuke in there. Alpha Academy versus the Vikings every week. But when Jade Cargill, she pulls up, crazy entrance.
A storm is coming.
Now I'm still trying to think. I gotta put it side to side and compare. But who had the better entrance, her or The Rock? Now, The Rock probably had the better theatrics, but that outfit and how everything was, you know what I'm saying?
Bad news, I don't know if monumental is big enough of a word to describe the acquisition that is Jade Cargill.
I need that. I need that. Yeah. Alright, let me chill. We get Austin Theory versus we get Austin Theory and Waller versus the Street Profits. We already knew what time it was. Obvious win. Theory and Waller. Like, actually, I lied. That's another thing we keep saying. Final Testament and Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits. And speaking of, we get Legado del Fantasma and LWO face off. And so they're having their little, y'all remember when they was promoting Captain America Civil War and the golden age of MCU? And they have their little face off. So as they're doing their little Captain America Civil War face off, I was just noticed, I was like, golly, Zelina. I mean, Elektra Lopez, she was looking good too. But listen, Zelina Vega, I tell you what.
I came to the realization that this moment, having both of you in front of me.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. But we get Legado's Lackeys versus New Catch Republic. We knew who was winning. I put New Catch W, pre-New Catch W. We already know what time it is. And then we get AJ Styles. He had a little segment earlier with Nick Aldis talking about, hey, is LA Knight not going to be here, right? Yeah, I asked him not to be here. You should have told him. They're kind of finesse. People are talking about finessing LA Knight. They're kind of finessing AJ Styles with this. His whole reasoning for this feud is just terrible. And then they don't even like mention like the moments where it's like, okay, I get you there. In one moment, he literally like pushed AJ Styles and started talking shit to Roman. And then that's like the first time, like it's basically when he returned. But no, I got injured and you took my spot. Bro, are you not a grown man? Like, you need someone to hold your hand through the whole thing, bro? What are you talking about? But he's like, I know he's in here somewhere. Pull up. His music didn't go. Maybe he's one of the people working here. Maybe he's the cameraman. Kicks the cameraman out of the ring. Some guy rushes the ring. Pulls off the mask. It's not him. And he's like, look at you scared. Then they just show in the background. You see someone in the background. We know it's LA Knight. He gets AJ running. Starts talking his shit. And that's the end of that segment. And now we're at the end of the show. We get Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. We knew it was either going to be no contest, DQ, or Bianca was winning. Dakota, you weren't winning this fair and square. It is what it is. Come on, man. You're going against Bianca. You just came off the injured list. You're losing. Sorry. Bianca wins fair and square. I don't know where they were camping, but it was literally 1, 2, 3. And then you can count another 1, 2, 3, and Damage Control was instantly throwing the hands to Bianca. Naomi pulls up. And then, I don't know why, she pulled up instead of boom, boom. Okay, I'm trying to fight him off. Even if they start to overwhelm her. But she said, boom, I hit you. Then boom, boom, back turn to everyone else. What do you think's going to happen? It's not like you knock someone out. You just basically damn near pushed them to the side. You went full threads press and like, what are we doing right now? So obviously, it was too much for her. I think Bianca gets up and kind of does the same thing. It's too much for both of them. They're getting stumped out for a while, and you could tell that they took a minute to play the music, because I think it was Asuka kind of looks up like, hello, we're still stumping. Can you play music, please? We hear Jade Cargill's music come up, and she's running solo trios, bro. She needs no shields, no mats, none of that. She running all gray and green items. She has no types of healing items. She doesn't need them. And so we get Bianca, Naomi, and Jade looking up at damage control like what's good. And I think the match is happening at WrestleMania. AEW Collision. Copeland opens the show to a lit crowd. Decently sized, you know, and they're very vocal. He does his little Cope open. He calls everyone out, like he calls anyone out. I mean, music starts playing. Now, at first, I'm like, okay, let's see. Maybe it could be like someone who like I really want to see in a match. I'm like, surely they first match it wouldn't be like some random in this Cope Open. I'm like, who could it be? Music starts playing, and meanwhile I'm going off the fans' reaction and Copeland's reaction. They're kind of looking like, oh, who is this?
Well, he's 4-0 in the Cope Open. Let's see who's going to step up here.
I'm like, it has to be someone debuting. Like, they have to put up the name, and everyone's going to be like, that's that person. Maybe he used that theme before. But we get the debut of...
Oh, my God! Wow!
From Long Island, New York, weighing in at 225 pounds, Matt Cardona!
Now, fun fact. Now, I mean, it wasn't a favorable storyline, but Matt Cardona, when he was doing his little Zack Ryder thing, was one of my first memories when returning to wrestling. So quick story. Watch it with my brothers. They stopped watching. I didn't know what to look up, so I just by default wasn't able to watch. I had one pay-per-view disc, and I spammed it over and over again, and that's it. Then in the 2000s, the later 2000s, I was just in the earlier 2010s, I was getting in my hands on any game demos I could get on. Then 2012, I started getting more, starting to get access to the computer. So then, I finally was able to start watching. So I started watching in 2012. So when he was doing that little storyline with Kane and John Cena and Eve and they were doing it, and Kane threw him off the... Yeah, that's when I started watching again. That's one of my first memories when returning. We get, as he's still doing his entrance, and I think a little bit before the match even starts, we get holy shit chants.
No idea Cardona was here, hitting himself away all day. And what a surprise, listen to that.
And the fans here are going...
And then, less than 30 seconds, like, lock in, throw against the ropes and do a little bit. Barely 30 seconds in, we get...
Right now, to issue this challenge, we need more from Copeland to put his title on the line the way he's doing today, Nigel.
I would say potentially it is the tale as old as time. Student against teacher. Likewise, is Christian Cage in a rematch.
Oh, please, would you stop? He's not even in this match.
And the series of hip tosses here.
Yeah, as you can tell, boy, they know each other. They were using the same moves there. right against each other. And a wry smile that time.
And the crazy thing about this is I literally almost didn't watch live. I was like, the day that I had today, like I wasn't even supposed to work that day, and I'm like, I do not feel like doing this. I was like, I gotta stream too. I ended up streaming, like, bro, this stream was supposed to be earlier in the day, but I ended up streaming later on the gaming channel description down below because I was watching this. But there's a moment in the match where they kind of like show the hard cam side of the arena to be like, hey, yeah, we got a maxed out crowd today. We're not hiding anything today.
TIX.com. It's the type of action you only get right here at AEW, baby. And you're looking at a great crowd on hand here at the Budweiser Gardens. Our first time here, and the fans are loving this.
They're not going to show that weekly, but we're not hiding anything today, though. I do actually hope it improves. I'm not these people who are like, oh, look at them, empty arenas. Ooh, they suck. I want to see them thrive. I want to see both companies thrive so we can have good entertainment instead of BS. Or also, hey, I like this person. Oh, damn, they're not treating them right in this company. They can go over to the other company and be treated how they should be treated. But, you know, it was a good match. Entertaining. The crowd was lit. Then Malachi Black pulls up. Are we getting a feud? Question mark. I guess we don't even have to wait for that answer. Buddy Matthews comes through, pulls up.
Coming down, he's got Buddy Matthews attacking him from behind is what he's got.
It's kind of ironic. I said you look like Tormund from Game of Thrones, and it wasn't Adam Copeland in either Vikings or Vikings Valhalla. One of those. Vikings reactions to see the first 2 seasons on the channel. Yeah. And then Briscoe pulls up.
Mike Briscoe's coming in.
I don't even think he got a hit in. He walked in and instantly got like slept.
Facing the House of Black again. Oh no! He got kicked in the face.
It's like, bruh, you were no help, bro. And then Eddie Kingston pulls up, and we just hear on commentary talking about some.
Remember Mark Briscoe? That's Eddie Kingston comes out. What? It's Kingston. It's Kingston.
I did an audible chuckle when he said that. He really just be dressing like some random like New York citizen. And I already know if I didn't put this in a clip, I already know there's gonna be some dummies talking about some. Well, he's like, dude. It's like you gotta always explain everything because people are just too slow nowadays, bruh. We get FTR versus the Infantry. It's a tag team tournament qualifying for the are they fighting at not like are the 2 winners fighting at Dynasty, or well, I guess it doesn't really matter. They would have to defend that. I guess that's irrelevant. Pre-Infantry L. I've never heard of y'all besides one moment. I think I recorded it in the last Here We Go Again that was scrapped because my audio was messed up, and by the time I got to it, it was like fucking like 11:30, and then you could just hear my brother's machines going crazy. But besides that little moment where they're like, oh, this is deciding on who goes ringside during this match, I've never heard of y'all. We get Kyle O'Reilly versus JD Drake. Pre-JD Drake L. And then during this match, they announced Collision will be at 11:30 next week. They're trying to combat, you know, WrestleMania. WrestleMania is moving an hour earlier. They'll probably finish, I don't know, maybe 11, 12ish. Now, if y'all are doing it live, I actually should look that up. If y'all are doing it live, it doesn't really matter. Your arena will be minuscule. Like, y'all went against the Royal Rumble and y'all, you know, was the crowd wasn't, you know, it wasn't like bad and it wasn't like crazy good, but still, I have to see. Yes, it says, hold up. It says April 3rd, Dynamite and Collision. And that's Ring of Honor. Dynamite Rampage on April 10th. So yeah, they're not doing, yeah, they know better. They know better to do that than to do that live. For sure. And then Kyle O'Reilly wins with a tap out. Undisputed Kingdom pulls up and celebrates with him. And we get Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus Top Flight. I said pre-Top Flight L. See, this is how you know, like, I keep it a stack and I don't just say that even after the match ends. Because I thought Top Flight was going to hold this L. I didn't think Big Bill and Ricky Starks were going to get their titles back, but I thought they were going to at least get to the semifinals. And we get Thunder Rosa versus Lady Frost, pre-Frost L. You're one of those people that they just throw you in there to, you know, have a, you know, pretty decent match to just lose. Speaking of someone who used to do that, whatever happened to Queen Aminata? Let me make sure she's straight. I actually liked seeing her. Then she finally won her first match. She's all elite, and I've never seen her again. Let me see. Okay, she's been doing a lot of Ring of Honor stuff, so I guess they keeping her in Ring of Honor. It says she wrestled like a couple weeks ago in Ring of Honor, so she not injured at least a couple weeks. We get a little backstage segment. I knew what direction it was going, but I didn't know that this was gonna happen. So Renee says,
next week, number 1 and number 2 in our rankings will be facing each other for a future shot at your AEW Women's Championship.
Tony Storm's like, okay, and? He's like, well,
it's Thunder Rosa and Mariah May.
Then Tony Storm looks, is like,
was this the plan all along? Is this what you've been plotting for months?
And the direction I already knew was going to be like, it was going to be a misdirection. Like, brilliant, darling. But did I know this action was coming in? Boss.
You magnificent bastard! You're a genius!
I mean, you could tag me in for whatever. I'd prefer to be Mariah May in that situation, but that's just me. But either or, whoever you sub me in for, it's fine by me. I don't know if Luther was on his it should have been me timing, but he was making some types of faces. I was making different types of faces though. And then our main event, we get Shibata, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio versus Lance Archer and the Righteous. Shibata gets the pin for his team. He gets it by pinfall. And the announcer proceeds to say,
1, 2, it is over. Winners of this match
Sweetheart, did you watch the match? Apparently not. That's gonna be it for this one. So like I said, maybe it'll probably be the full thing next week. Oh, yeah, next week we'll not have Collision. We'll probably, on the very last one, start with Collision and end with Collision, because I'm already doing stuff with the WrestleMania thing. I'm not going to be paying attention to Collision, even if y'all change the time. But that's going to be it for this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one, and I'm out. Peace.